Alejandro Kirk plays the hero as the Blue Jays get a big comeback victory against the Red Sox. Hey everyone, welcome into another episode of Long Ball. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley. And Rob, the wins have been few and far between for this Blue Jays team recently, but they got off the mat coming back from 6 runs down to defeat the Red Sox as Alejandro Kirk's game-winning RBI single won it for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 10th inning. Obviously, some big swings as well by Anthony Santander to tie it up. But Daulton Varsho with a home run in just his second game back. We saw his miraculous catch the other night as well that helped the Blue Jays out, unfortunately, in a losing cause. But when it comes to Varsho, having him back now, how do you think he can impact this team both offensively and obviously defensively?
Well, Robert, you never want to read too much into one player returning, but I think in the case of Daulton Varsho, he definitely provides a spark to that team on a number of levels. He's a very popular guy in the clubhouse. His teammates love him. He's a great guy to be around, a hard worker and kind of a silent leader in that regard, but also his defense, right? He's one of the best defenders in all of baseball, certainly the best center fielder. We saw it with that circus-like play in his debut earlier in the week, which let's face it, is going to live in the highlight reels forever. It was so spectacular. But I think where he's really going to make an impact, if he makes an impact, will be with his bat. He's certainly been inconsistent as a hitter during his tenure with the Blue Jays so far, but he showed signs of life in spring training. He was hitting with much more confidence and much more authority through spring training. Now those results don't mean a whole lot. And he had a month gap in between where he just played some minor league ball as he was rehabbing from that shoulder surgery. But here he comes back and he has a home run in his second game back, and it was an impressive one. It was a swing not unlike he was using throughout Grapefruit League play in spring training. And, if he can just provide a little bit of pop, a little bit of power, I don't think you expect the guy to hit 40 home runs, but if he can hit 20 plus, which he's capable of, then yeah, he certainly brings an added dynamic to this offense. You don't want to have too much high expectations on him in that regard because he hasn't been a dominant hitter throughout his career. But the fact that he's back and playing his defense in center field and the fact that he can contribute some offense, I think that's a spark this team needed, especially the way things have been going through the latter half of April.
Absolutely, and no offense to the likes of Will Wagner and Alan Roden, and I know Addison Barger's had some nice moments here and there, but Daulton Varsho, definitely a guy that with regular playing time has a much bigger impact than some of those guys at this point of their career. One guy who's had a massive impact, Rob, full value so far, Jeff Hoffman, 3 wins, 6 saves in the month of April. You'd have to think the Braves, the Orioles, might be scratching their heads, wondering maybe we should have overlooked that medical and ultimately signed this guy. But the Blue Jays very happy to have him in the fold. I know you recently wrote about him. He's been an incredible story so far this year, and I think for a lot of Blue Jays fans, feeling pretty confident anytime he comes into the ball game.
Yeah, certainly, Rob. You could actually make the case that he's been the most significant, the best Blue Jay player so far with some of the things that he's done. You alluded to it. The 3 wins to me are particularly impressive in that I think in each case, certainly for 2 of them, but he pitched 2 innings. So he's shown that he can not only be the shutdown closer in the 9th, he can face hitters for 2 consecutive innings on occasion. They're not going to overuse him in that regard, but that's an added versatility for a closer. But really, his stuff has been exceptional, and it certainly validates the move of the front office to move away from Jordan Romano, who's been a disaster in Philadelphia this season, and on to Jeff Hoffman, who has been one of the best closers in all of baseball thus far. His pitch mix is superb. His command is superb. He rarely gets behind hitters, and he's just that shutdown guy. He's got a fierceness when he comes on in late game situations, and you can see the confidence that is growing within him. This is the first time that he's been a true closer in his career. The Jays certainly saw something in that stuff that he had with the Phillies the last 2 seasons, especially last year, and that's made him a priority in the offseason, and it's turned out to be a great addition. And the Blue Jays bullpen has been excellent. When you've got Jimmy Garcia as the setup guy and Jeff Hoffman as the shutdown closer, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, even throwing a guy like Brendan Little, who's had
Mhm.
a great
Yeah.
start this season as well, you feel pretty good about the back end of the bullpen. But as you said, Jeff Hoffman getting his first chance to close, pretty remarkable for a guy who hasn't done that full time before to look the way that he has so far. But hopefully he'll be saving more games for the Blue Jays, because that means they'll be winning some more ball games as the calendar now shifts into May. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For Rob Longley, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.